Hello and welcome to the JTrain Podcast. This is JTrain Jared Freid coming to you live from Kansas City, Missouri. That's right. Every Wednesday is a Chit Chat Wednesday where I sit down with a friend, a comedian, an expert. Today we have all three. They are a comedian, writer, Emmy winner with the TV show Last Week Tonight. They are a friend over the last, I would say, year. They've become a friend, which I'll say it. I'll take the first step in saying that we're friends. And I would say they're an expert in Midwest culture. The hilarious Taylor Kay Phillips. Thank you for coming on the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me, and thank you for coming to our fair city of Kansas City.
Well, we're here. So to let people behind the curtain, we are here in Kansas City. And you are from here, and you and I, so let's give everyone the full story. Taylor Kay Phillips has a book out that you can go buy right now. We want you to go buy her book. It is called A Guide to Midwestern Conversation. We're going to get into that in a second. But we were kind of fixed up to help me write my book. I'll give the story. Basically, I have a book coming out in June 2026. I've talked about it here and there. And I remember, so then I like the big part of the book, and Taylor, everyone should go buy your book, A Guide to Midwestern Conversation. Taylor's incredibly funny. There's a link in the description of this episode. You know more than me that a book takes a very in-depth outline. Like that's the first thing you do, right?
Yes, it is. Books are so long that you can't just do piecemeal with them. You have to have some type of guardrails. Otherwise, you are just... it's like you have walked around a dinner party telling lots of people different stories, and then someone says, "How did the night go?" And you're like, "It was good," and you can't accurately distill
and you need
it.
Like a map. So when I first got this book opportunity, I'm sitting with the editor doing the outline, and they're like, and it takes us like a month and a half. Like it's not like putting an outline together to do this podcast that I jot down in my notebook. It's like a thorough outline. So that was difficult. And then the editor, who I love and is great, was like, okay, get writing. Let's do page 1. And I go to Denver. This is like a couple of years ago now. I've already been back to Denver for shows. I'll never forget it. I'm in Denver the whole week. I'm writing this first page. I'm hemming and hawing, and I'm miserable, and I hate it. And I'm like, is this what it's going to be like? Am I going to be... Every night of my life, I'm just going to be miserable. And I finally get done with this first page of what we were writing, and I send it to her, and she's like, within 5 minutes, emails back, "We need a ghostwriter." And I'm like, oh. I was embarrassed. I'm like, oh, God, I just tried to do this. I thought I could do this. I didn't talk to the editor for like a month. I was like, I'm not talking to you. I'm done. I'm backing away. And then you start the process. We got to hire a ghostwriter. And my first thing, I was like, I want a comedian, and you were pitched to me. And here we are a year later with a finished book. How do I get pitched to you? Like, what do they say to you?
Well, so I will also say that I think ghostwriter is a term that people use, in my experience, when what would happen is you and I would sit in a room, you would talk at me, and I would try to, from that mess, put something together. And I want to give you a little bit more credit that I think that I was a little bit more of a book coach or like a translator almost, because converting mediums is very difficult. Like stuff that you could say in a sentence on stage or that you could convey with a look or a pause doesn't work as well, right? When you're on the written page, and you are a very busy man and you have all of these ideas that could make a book, but certainly it is not like you don't have time to create a book and also learn how to write a book because you're a professional in like many other areas of your life. And you wrote a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Like we did not jump on Zooms and then you just word vomited at me. I did not it wasn't like me going into the podcast archive and being like, and then maybe this is what Jared thinks. This could be a book. Like you wrote stuff and then I made it book.
Well,
So, like,
you're taking away. I hope people understand. I think we were like a great duo. I think this is like, and I need
We were
and
a
I
great
need you
team.
to go. I'm gonna put you on. I'm gonna take that clip and I'm gonna send it to my dad, because my dad, from the minute I started doing this book, he's like, "What are you writing? War and Peace? How long is this taking? You don't know how to write a book." I have like, he's the devil on my shoulder telling me how much I'm not gonna do this. Like,
it's so funny. And another way that I would explain it that just came to me, we're evolving, this is why we have a room, is I'm ghostwriter in the way like the movie, where there's a ghost behind you making the thing, like your hands are
Yes.
on it, like you're
Yes.
touching the clay, and it's me behind you being like, and then we go
Right.
up and we'll make the little ridges because people can't drink out of it if you stick your thumb in it.
well, if this,
And
go
I
ahead.
have
I'm
not.
sorry.
Oh no, I was just going to say I have not seen the movie. I've only seen the scene and heard it referenced. So that's like my best idea about that scene is that they are trying to make a vessel from which someone
I
can
think
drink.
you're right.
Is the premise
Absolutely,
of that?
it made total sense to me. It is, and if this podcast was like a very dude-heavy audience, some rando in his basement would make a picture of you and I on the Ghost poster. But that's not what this show is. Our audience is a upscale,
No.
ritzy crowd. So I
Right.
appreciate that.
Also, we can just take one.
We'll do that picture
We'll take
this
one
weekend.
when the book
that's
comes out.
perfect.
We'll just do it.
We're here. So you're helping me with the book. It has been and I can't thank. I've thanked you, but I can't thank you enough for. I mean, like, now people are starting to read it and they're like, it's funny. It's actually good. And I'm like, holy shit, this is like a real thing. Like, because a lot of times, I'm just like, and we worked out a schedule and all that stuff. But I do want to come back to, what did they say to you? Like, this idiot has a book he's doing? Like, what did they say to you?
My agent was like, how do you feel about, like, again, not really ghostwriting, this kind of like book coaching relationship. And I was like, tell me more about it. And she explains to me what ghostwriting is normally. And it was, sorry, I have the smallest ears and nobody actually believes me when my earbuds fall out. They think I'm being a diva, but I have medically small ears. So, but
what a hilarious issue
so
that
she explained
wouldn't
to me,
have made a difference like 20 years ago. It wouldn't matter. You'd be like, you'd have the earmuff headphones, and nowadays it's like the world was not built for you. It's crazy.
It's not. It's like that. I long for the days of the old ones. For whatever reason, the old ones are work, and people are like, but you can get the new noise canceling ones. And I was like, they won't cancel noise because they will be on the ground in 15 seconds.
Especially with sweating. Mine come out when they sweat, and it's like miserable. Okay,
yeah.
so
it's no. So my agent is like, what do you think about it? And I said I'm very interested. Like, I like writing, and what she kind of explained and what I learned now is that because it's something that I'm interested in doing, and I love to write, and I love to write jokes, and I love to have options, but I kind of asked how it would go, and what she described to me was actually very different than what happened. And I know that in the future, I'm going to be so spoiled by our relationship.
I hope that's the case. I hope I'm not a pain in the ass.
Well, and like in any other situation, right, where like I am being brought in to help someone, I would be being brought in to help them be funny, right? Like, you're bringing me into, someone's memoir who like wants jokes. Also, I will also say, to give you a little bit more credit, very few people are like open about this. Most people are like, I need the world to think that I wrote my book.
I've seen
right?
how that,
like, just me.
I've
I'm
seen
the
how
person.
that looks on other people, and it's not a good look to me. I and also, like, I'm a collaborative person. I love like coming up with, like, being like, hey, someone says I have a note for this bit. Like, that's like my favorite part of doing comedy. Like adding on and like figuring it out. Like the comedy, I've been coming, like, in this last year, people have asked me a lot about being a comedian, and I'm sure you get asked that all the time as well. But it's like, I'm always, now my new answer for like They're like, what do you love about it? I'm like, I love the puzzle. Like figuring it out. This is one big puzzle. It's every day. It works my brain. I get this like satisfaction when it does work, like, and I don't know. I don't have that. I have an ego. That ego isn't in this way. You know what I mean?
Totally. And I think that's part of the reason why we worked so well together is because we, in my house, my husband's also a comedy writer. We call it joke math, where it's like, okay, you're, kind of the structure, you're figuring out your coefficients and your variables. And something that comes when you are writing in a joke structure, but for another person, is every once in a while I would text you and be like, this is the structure I have, but I need a specific from your life. So like,
right.
Here's something we're going to talk about, before we really knew each other, I was like, and then what's your basketball team? Because I'm going to put their venue in here in this joke.
Right.
Like as a specific.
Right.
But also I was this was not me pitching jokes, which would be any other ghostwriting situation. And I remember one time I texted you and I said something like, well, I'm thinking about doing this to this chapter, and then that would be a fun callback run. And I just said that, and you said, yes, totally. And I turned to my husband and I was like, I'm never going to have this again. No other person who I work on a project with is going to know. They're going to say, what are you talking about? No, I don't want to call anybody. I want to write a book. Why are we calling?
Right. I knew exactly where you were talking about, what you were talking about. No explanation needed. The callback, like that's the language. It's the, it's in the life of a comedian. It's in the blood type of thing.
Right. And like the other thing, not to be like, and we've had this experience in publishing too, where, we're both in places where we're not necessarily the authority, right? When you're on the road, kind of the audience tells you what they think is funny, and my job, my bosses tell me what they think is funny, and then the audiences do. And in books, they're just like, haha, that works, that's great. And I'm like, wait, no. Like, where are the grown-ups? Like, someone,
right. It is, it's a quiet, lonely process and I think from my end too, like the amount of like, the way we worked it out for the audience, and this might be interesting. I think this would be interesting to hear is like, I'm writing a dating book, and I wanted a comedian, and I also wanted a woman to help me with the book, because I was like, I'm a guy talking about dating. I want to put this through, like you're saying, an audience. Like I want someone to say, no, that's bullshit. No, don't say that. That's crazy. What do you mean by that? Press me. Like where is this supposed to go? What are you trying to say here? And it's like I have that with You Up and Jordana, my co-host, where I always say like the power of that show is like it's an uncomfortable conversation had comfortably, and it's like that's kind of what I was looking for in the ghostwriting experience and figuring out this puzzle, the book that the book is. So it's just been wonderful. Not to be dramatic, but your gut has a massive impact on how you feel each day. Bioma keeps things in tip-top shape so you can feel your best no matter what life throws your way. Bioma's symbiotic blend, prebiotics plus probiotics plus postbiotics, helps restore a healthy microbiome. It's not just about smooth and regular digestion. Your gut can mess with your hormone levels, energy, weight management, and even lifespan. You're gonna wanna give Bioma a try and get things sorted in there. I am using Bioma. I'm taking it daily. I love it. I have to say, I'm having and I'm not trying to get too personal here, I'm having some day-changing bathroom experiences. I am it feels like I'm just flushing out my system. I feel good. I don't feel like I got this extra weight in my tummy. I feel like I'm moving more svelte, if that makes any sense. I feel just less bloated. And I think you're going to enjoy Bioma in the way I have too. So if your gut is full of the wrong bacteria, get Bioma and get it together. I'm taking it. It's 2 pills, and it goes with my morning. It's become part of my routine. Take 15% off your Bioma order when you press in the code JTrain at gobioma.com/JTrain. That's code JTrain for 15% off your order at gobioma.com/JTrain. It's just been wonderful. It's been like, and I'm like, and it also was painstaking, but not from you. You made it easier. Like, I mean, like reviewing each chapter, there's personal stories, and going back and thinking of these stories was like brutal for me now. I'm like, I didn't think it was going to be that way.
Of course. And it's fascinating to get personal with someone that quickly and in that way, because there, to an extent, initially when you're commenting on somebody offering a personal story and also having to tell them whether or not they're getting their point across, like on one hand, I don't know you like that. And on the other hand, I'm the only person who knows you like that.
Now you do.
In the moment, right? And so it's like, it's, you know, in this story, what I think you're trying to get across is this. And so we got to put that in this chapter, and it's so mechanical. Meanwhile, the chapter is a little bit you being like, and the way that I've chosen to live my life just kind of leaves me at this crossroads. And I'm here like, can we talk about how you're kind of reflecting on all of your life decisions and whether or not they actually make you happy? And I feel like maybe if we move that to the end of the chapter, people will really feel it. Like, there's something very callous about it. But
and again, like I'm realizing right now this book is gonna be that. Like, I'm not even like I think of like the funny fart stories and the advice section, but like to make the advice work, because that's the thing with dating advice and with dating commentary, it's all diet and exercise. Everyone's said what's been said, and you know, I think the personal stories kind of like give, you know, vulnerability to realize that like you're not alone, and all these feelings that someone had that's reading it, you know, someone else has felt. And all right, well, enough about this book that is not even out, because you have a book that's out.
Well, also, I want to say one more thing about your book, because I do want to gas you up here a little bit,
Please.
Which is that you have been doing this for so long, and we're friends now. You said it. You broke the seal.
I said it. I broke it.
Absolutely never heard of you before. They were like, do you want to, you know what I mean? Like, I was totally new to you and all of your stuff. And I really liked it. And I was able to, I think something that was interesting bringing a new person is I was like, no, these vocabulary words that you're using are very useful and helpful and should be disseminated. Because we are like, you can start new vocabulary stuff. And I don't want to, I don't want to spoil anything, because by the book in June, everybody get excited and mark your calendars. But there are things that like I would use that you said and either had words for or didn't quite have words for, and you and I figured out like a term for, that I now carry with me forever because they make sense. And like, it's like they make sense. It's how to, you know, without spoiling anything, but it's like we get rid of the define the relationship conversation and replace it with something that makes a lot more sense. And you talk about what ghosting is. Like, here's what ghosting is, you know? And I think that coming into it new, you'd been talking about this for a long time, and I felt like I was able to help you a little bit realize how much sense what you're saying makes.
I appreciate that, and especially it was like, it's hard to go back, be like, oh, that was like first year stuff I talked about. I'm done with that chapter, but then you have to go back and do that chapter, like,
yes,
you know, and I'm telling you about it. You're like, oh, the reveal, and I'm like, yeah, we talked about that for years, like it's over, and you're like, it's not over. We gotta bring that back, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
The reveal is the thing. The reveal is. It's one of the, it's like, take your medicine. This is how you do it. And you say it in the book. You're like, you're going to get an answer. It might not be the one you want. You're going to get an answer.
The reveal reveals. That's what it does. That's why it has that name. So, okay. Well, you have a great book that's out right now, A Guide to Midwestern Conversation. My first question with A Guide to Midwestern Conversation. You're from Kansas City. So I was coming here doing shows. I'm like, come open the shows. Your mom and sister were there. Your dad's coming. He does stand up, which is like the coolest thing ever. Why did you feel? What was the goal? What made you go? I got it. Do you think Midwestern people are misunderstood?
I think yes, and I think that I would not have been able to write the book if I'd stayed here the whole time. I could really only write it when I came back, and it's the thing about the way that Midwesterners talk is that other people talk about it like we are using euphemisms, or they say it's like, oh, it's Midwestern nice. Midwesterners are kind of lying to you, but they mean something different. And I think that that's not true. We are saying what we mean, but this is how we say it. So it's like the example I use is like, you would never say that the French say bonjour as a euphemism for hello, right?
Right.
That is the way that they say it. So because everybody knows what we mean. So if I say like that person is a character, I am not like, I'm not speaking in code. I am saying in my Midwestern language, that woman is absolutely batshit. And we are all just like witnessing whatever we're about to witness, you know?
Right. I have a quiz for you. This is the first ever JTrain quiz. You lead us into, because I went and I did some Googling, I did some research before this, and there was one. I want you to translate these Midwestern phrases. Tell us what these mean. Okay? Yeah, no.
No. That means no.
You're right. Correct. That's a total no. So I didn't know that was a Midwest thing. So yeah, no is a total no.
Total no. 100%. Yeah, no.
So I guess I would ask you, is there any cookies left?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
There's not.
Okay, here's another one.
You know, it's like,
what is it like?
It's affirming you and then giving you the answer. It's like, yeah, you asked a good question and I appreciate it, and the answer is no.
That is the perfect explanation. Okay. Now here's the next one. No, yeah.
Yes, that means yes. That's affirmative yes.
Okay. Okay. So
no, yeah, we could do that.
No, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so yeah, do you guys have vanilla for the iced coffee?
No, yeah, we've got everything you need. But we've got vanilla, right? No, yeah, we do.
Okay. Okay, you ready? Now they're going to get harder.
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. Yes, that's affirmative.
Okay, you got it correct. It is affirmative, and the way it was described on this quick Reddit search, which who knows? It's unfortunately it's the truth.
Yes, absolutely. So it would be like I went.
It's gonna rain. Is it gonna rain today?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
So unfortunately, yeah.
No. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's they like, we want to be able to tell you what you want to hear. So it would be like, you'd be walking to someone and be like, are you guys out of the size 10? Yeah, no. Yeah, we are. You know?
Ooh. Like, that's like a roller coaster ride of a
roller
phrase.
Coaster. It's a roller coaster.
All right, let's do one last one. No, yeah, no.
No, yeah, no. That's a little bit, I'm trying to be nice, but you shouldn't have fucking asked the question.
Wow, you're so right.
Is my interpretation?
Undeniably no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
It would be, it would be like, it would be kind of somebody coming up to you in the middle of the street and being like, can you come and do stand up at my daughter's birthday party right now? Mm-hmm. You'd be like, no, yeah, no.
No, yeah, no.
I'm busy, you know.
Is
or
that
like,
what the
are my
Midwestern
kids invited to your wedding? It's like, but my kids can come to your wedding, right? I know it says no kids.
No, yeah, no.
That's it.
See, is the whole Midwestern thing, and based on you nailed the quiz, you got everyone right.
Right.
You're a true Midwesterner. Is that where the Minnesota nice, the Midwestern nice comes from? Is that like basically like we're doing a lot of softening and people pleasing while also telling you exactly what we mean?
Yes. I think that I think we are nice. You know, I think that
Yeah, I think Midwestern people are nice. I agree. Like it's not a fake nice. I hate that.
no.
Like as if there's like a big brooding asshole beneath. It's like, no, that's not what it is, right?
No, it's that there is a way to behave and communicate. But like I think that sometimes when people talk about us, there's this implicit kind of like simplicity. Like they're so nice because they don't feel the full range of human emotions.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? So it's like, well,
Yeah.
Midwesterners, they're so nice. They're actually they don't get mad. They never get mad or mean. And it's like, no, we absolutely do. We just behave. Like is kind of the vibe. Like
Right. You're living within the lines, like coloring in the lines, like there's like we're being angry, but in the polite, classy way that anger should be shown and not erratically. Like, even like the definition of a character. Like to me, a character is just a character. You're like, no. This person is making themselves into a cartoon.
correct. And
Yeah.
the other thing I think, and I think the best example is actually the Southern bless your heart, but the extremity is the same. Like it's just that people aren't used to, or if you're not from here, it feels like a euphemism to you because it's not the way that you would speak. But
Right.
if like down in the South and you said bless your heart, again, that is not a euphemism for fuck you. You have just told someone to go fuck themselves. And like if you're in the Midwest and you say like, "Oh, that's different." You have just said, "What holy fucking hell hath the good Lord wrought?" And everybody knows that that's what you've said. Like you are not pulling a punch. You are
Right,
Midwestern
right.
punching. You know?
Right.
Like I think that's the big difference is it's like Minnesota nice is not, oh, they're also nice. It's that the I'm trying to think like the floor and ceiling of the actual words that they use are different. So you have to calibrate. But the extremity is the same.
When you moved to New York, were you like looking for Midwestern people, or were you like kind of like, I've had it with the Midwest? Was it, and then you came back to it? Like, what was the feeling when you got to New York?
I've always felt straddling for a long time. Basically, I think that I am like the nicest girl in New York and a cutthroat bitch in the Midwest. And so like in the Midwest, I am intense. And in New York, I am like a bubbly, soft weirdo, in a good way. But
I get that completely. Like my mom is from the Midwest, and no one knows that because she has assimilated so much over the years. And like I think, way back when she grew up outside of Detroit, I'm like, man, I'm sure. Like I think of her like living in Detroit as like a high school kid. Like I'm like, they must have not been able to believe her. Like I'm seeing, now she's a Northeast, woman, probably more than other Northeast women. But like I'm just thinking of like when that person was there, like they must have been like, again, she must have been a character. Like that was what they would probably describe her as. Like I can't imagine what that like what their view of it was.
yeah, and it's I mean again, nobody would ever say anything. They're just like, "Oh, she's in quite a hurry or she's really focused." Taylor's very focused,
Right.
very driven. She's very driven,
Did
you
you get
know.
that a lot growing up?
Yes, I mean, I think that the other kind of thing about you kind of have to layer the like being a woman onto it, where there were some teachers, so many teachers that I had that were like, this bitch mouthy and crazy, and we love her. And I would never, I would never tell her to sit down and shut up. And luckily that was the teachers and the people that I interacted with basically my entire life until I was a teenager. And by that point, no one could tell me to sit down and shut up. But that's when people kind of started trying to kind of tell me to be quiet under the guise of kind of societal standards.
Politeness, is that kind of...
Politeness, being ladylike, being mature, which was something that was leveled at, in my experience, women and not men. Language.
That is maturity. That's something that I feel here. Like being in Kansas City, like the men are kind of allowed to be football boys will be boys in a way that is like, it is a stark difference. You can feel that, like, even like, we get at shows, you get shows that people you relate to more than others. And you see like the couple in the front and it's like, she's dressed, even the dress, like she's dressed like properly for a night out, and he's in a Chiefs sweatshirt with like jeans that haven't been washed in a week, and you're like, that's a mature, like one has been told be right, and the other has been told whatever, it's Saturday night at a comedy club. It seems like two different rules.
It really does. I mean, I in high school, said a swear and got in such big trouble. Like the amount of kind of hand wringing and meetings, and I had to do 50 hours of community service, and like it was a huge thing. First swear, and the same year, at the end of the year, one boy punched another boy in the face at school and got 5 hours of community service.
I mean, that's crazy. That like the actual assault, and they're go to the soup kitchen for a minute and you're good. Yeah. And that I think was the weird difference, was that it's what you said about the maturity. There was a sense of like, I should know better, but also if I knew too much better, I was being disrespectful and like, I'm a child, that feels, you can feel that in the atmosphere. So, okay, I want to play a fun game before we go, because I got a games prepared specifically for Taylor Kay Phillips, which you can all follow. Go follow Taylor Kay Phillips on Instagram, on all the socials. I will share with this episode. The book is called A Guide to Midwestern Conversation. Go buy it, make it. It is a perfect gift coffee table book. It's beautiful. It's cool. Go get it. Okay, ready? This is called Midwest or Midbest. Okay? You're going to tell me whether these Midwestern things are just, fine, or it's the Midbest.
Okay, I'm ready.
And Midbest is a lot like I didn't realize until I read it just now. Okay. And you're going to tell me why.
It's a pun. It's not saying that they're mid. It's not a hedge.
We're not saying it's mid. I know. The minute I said it out loud, I wrote it down. I was like, Midbest. You're a genius, Jared. This goes back to the book writing, where I'm like, oh, man, you're killing it. And I was like, Midbest? That sounds like it's the mid at best. Okay. So, now let's change the name, okay?
Okay.
We're going to change it to, this is the best or mid at best?
Great.
Okay.
Love it. Perfect.
Puppy chow.
The fucking best.
The best.
Have you ever had it?
So I have had puppy chow. To me, it's funny. When I went and looked up, I was like, Midwestern things. Puppy chow to me was like, but it also is more Midwest to me. It was more like Irish Catholic, you're in the basement of like a church to me. It was very, puppy chow is the least Jewish snack I can think of, because it is absolutely delicious. It's messy. It's fattening. It's bad for you. It's carbs. It's chocolate. It's sugar. It's all the things that my mom would go, you can't have too much of that. And I remember like The non-Jewish kids would have it like as a snack in a Ziploc bag left over from the weekend in their like packed lunch. And I'd be sitting there with like carrot sticks and hummus.
Well, the other thing about puppy chow is that it is a nightmare to make. It is as messy to make as it is to eat, because you do peanut butter on the Chex Mix and you're stirring. We had in second grade at my school, there was every year was the rainforest bake sale. You did a bake sale and you saved the rainforest, highlight second grade. Everyone raced to get there because 3 or 4 kids would make puppy chow and it was always gone immediately. And I remember coming home being like, I want to be one of the kids to make puppy chow. It is such a mess. So
What is it? Can you explain it? Because I just know it as something I've stuffed in my mouth quickly so that my mom wouldn't catch me.
So it is rice Chex, peanut butter, chocolate, and powdered sugar. All the best things.
Best things.
It's unreal. And it's so, and it is one of those things that that when I left, I found out it was a Midwestern thing. I was like, how on earth does
it's not everywhere?
Well,
now it's kind of the sad part and the great part about life in 2025 is Chex Mix does make a version that you can buy at the airport, but that just makes it nationalized and not as great. I love the fact that it's from here.
If you did not throw a tantrum because your mom made you clean up the kitchen after making it, you are not eating puppy chow.
Right. You need the trauma.
Tears
the
need to be shed.
Trauma. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Midwest or mid at best, or the best or mid at best, or Midwest or mid at best. Okay.
Okay.
Cornhole.
I like cornhole. I think cornhole is fun. I think in terms of a party game, I would say it's mid at best, and they're going to come for me. But
I think it's okay because I'm going to back you up. I'm going to give a good reason, but please go on.
Well, you're far away from what you're doing, and every once in a while, I recently saw professional cornhole being played, and that shit is wild. It's fun. It's a fun yard games are dangerous for me because I get insane. And I try to be cool, but I play with someone's unathletic partner and then I just lock my jaw the whole time trying to pretend like I don't care and it's supposed to be a fun game. But yeah,
so you get into it.
Yeah. But it's I like it.
Here's the reason cornhole is mid at best, okay? Horseshoes is a better game. Horseshoes is more fun. You have the weight of a metal object that you're throwing across a yard. You hear when you ring it, when you get it around the stake, it makes a satisfying noise. It wraps around it. You get to do the measuring thing with the length of the horseshoes. I just think it's a more fun game and it also takes less stuff. You can clean up horseshoes in 2 seconds and then the dust flying in the air. I don't know. I think cornhole's a good game, but we have a better game before this.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. Cornhole is a vibe dependent fun activity, right? It's I'm not going to, it's if we're in the yard and there's, we're all having Miller Lights and some people are watching the game and there's chips and we're outside and you throw a couple bags around or grab a team. That is fun. But I would never be oh, thank God at this intimate friendship gathering, there is cornhole available. Let's put in effort in order to participate in this.
It's way noisier. It's all you hear is dung, 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 dung. Yeah. All right, let's do we'll do a couple more. Ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Pop.
So, I don't know. This is part of the being in Kansas City and specifically. If there are words that are debated, I do not know which one I use. I use every single one interchangeably. I mostly say soda, but I had friends who said pop.
I didn't know if soda or pop was a Kansas City thing, because I know pop to me was always a Michigan thing. And I didn't know if it like I never knew someone from Cleveland who said pop, but I knew everyone in Detroit said pop.
Yeah. It's one of those ones that like gets touted as a debate that I don't think really exists. I think that to me feels a little bit like someone on Twitter being like, monkey expert here, this monkey is actually in distress, where it's somebody being like, I'm a human observer, and let me tell you right now, in the Midwest, soda and pop is a big debate. And we're all kind of like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. This isn't that big a deal. We just, it gets said and it gets not, it's said and it's not said. Okay.
Right.
I like that. I've always enjoyed hearing pop because I just like local stuff. Like I just, I think like when someone says something different than me, but I know that we like share the same country, like I kind of think that's like the fun of a huge country like America, not to get all patriotic, but I think that's like, and we lose that. I think we're losing that with streaming and local commercials going away and all that stuff. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
2 more. We're going to do, they're all good. I want to do them all. Okay, you ready?
Great, let's do them all.
Gooey butter cake. Midwest or mid at best?
The fucking best.
Yeah?
That's another thing. Oh, yeah.
I've never had it, and I've heard it from my brother's wife. She loves it.
Well, have you ever had milk bar pie?
No.
Okay, because they have it.
I'll love it.
They have it in Milk Bar in New York. That is
Milk Bar, Milk Bar, the cookie company. Yeah, Yeah. I don't think I have.
Okay, it's Milk Bar pie. It used to be called crack pie, and then they changed it because of woke. And so now it's called Milk Bar pie, and which makes sense. I agree with the change. But it's really gooey butter cake, which was invented in St. Louis, Missouri, or that St. Louis gets the credit for. And
that's where my brother's wife's from.
Yeah, you know how like have you ever learned or read a recipe for pecan pie?
No.
Okay, don't. But you'll read it and you'll be like, oh God, that's why it's so good, because what's in it is insane.
Right.
That's what gooey butter cake is like. Like, it's just like, here's, like a whole bag and a half of brown sugar and a cow's worth of butter if you can't get 2. Like,
I would say the pecan pie, you get a little bit more leeway with me than gooey butter cake. Like, I'm assuming that's not going to be on the health regimen, but I it's probably worse than I would even imagine, right?
Yeah, it's like really good coffee cake, like really moist coffee cake.
Yeah.
It's like if you put butter and syrup on it. It's like if you're like, I'm going to put butter on my coffee cake and then sprinkle some. You gotta.
I had a coffee cake in the Delta Sky Club last week. I don't know why. I don't know what pushed me. I never eat anything at the Delta Sky Club like that. It was like an out-of-body moment for me. I was so happy I ate it. And it was a big brick of coffee cake. So this is really speaking to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Ranch dressing, Midwest or mid at best?
Best. Midwest and best. The best.
See, I am a ranch person. I think I'm not a ranch person. I can't put my name on it. Are you putting ranch on everything? Wings, you're going ranch instead of blue. Like, I go blue cheese over ranch.
No. Ranch all the time. Ranch on pizza.
Ranch on pizza was like introduced to me in college. That was like a college thing, and that was where it made the most sense to me.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, I just like a chicken finger with ranch. I'm like, there's so many other sauces, but I'm not gonna besmirch your culture.
Well, and I understand, like, people, the creamy dressing situation here is quite intense. In fact, last night at our show, I ordered a Caesar salad, and it was like, I was sitting in the back and it was kind of dark, and they brought me a Caesar salad, and there was a ramekin of dressing on top of the salad. And I was like, oh, they must be slammed in the kitchen, or maybe, I don't know. I didn't know that I asked for dressing on the side. Luckily, I dipped and did not pour. The salad was also dressed. They had just given me a side of Caesar dressing. And between that and I asked for a Diet Coke, and they brought me fully a half-gallon cup of Diet Coke.
The biggest cup I've ever had of Diet Coke in my life here. Yeah.
And I was like, I am so home. I could not be more happy. I was just like, this is the best. But yes, I think we are a cream-based dressing people. Yes, tell me, last one.
Yeah, you are. Look at last one, cream-based dressing people. Great merch. Okay, casserole.
So, I know as a Midwesterner who researched and wrote a book on it that I am supposed to say that it's called hot dish.
Ooh, okay.
Right?
I think that's a good. Okay, go ahead.
No.
Yeah, please go on.
And I always heard it as casserole. I didn't realize that casserole was I guess a thing that isn't everywhere. Casseroles are specific. Some casseroles are good and some casseroles are bad. A casserole that I love that is insane and disgusting, especially because I live in Missouri, which fans of maps will know is landlocked as hell. I love tuna casserole, like the tuna casserole they had in school, which was cooked tuna, egg noodles, covered in cheddar cheese.
That is, to me, this was going to be my issue with the word casserole, is that I thought it got a bad edit. My whole life, casserole, we've been kind of told the marketing for casserole has always been young kid in a sitcom being like, tuna noodle casserole, and they're upset about it. So I didn't like casserole before even having a casserole. So I think it's like, it was like, I don't even know, Big Pharma or something was against casserole from the get-go. I think switching it to hot dish might be good for the casserole industry.
This makes sense to me.
Yeah, because my whole view of casserole, which I didn't grow up with a casserole, we never made a casserole, but like my mom would make baked macaroni and cheese, my grandmother would make baked macaroni and cheese, and it would come in the casserole container, and some people would call that a casserole. Yeah. So I think it's more marketing that the issue with, because to me it's mid at best, but it's only because I only don't like the word. It's not like I don't like the contents of what it creates.
Yeah, it's a big like, is a hot dog a sandwich conversation, I feel like.
Right.
Because I watched your story at Slaps yesterday. You went to go get the barbecue, and you were having your way with it at the end, where you like put the potato thing on, and
with it. That's how I.
That's what you're having your way with it. You're like, this is we're slopping all this shit together one bite, and I was like, that's my guy. And also, I think that I'm a mixer, like Thanksgiving plates, or it's like when I've got a plate and there's turkey and green bean casserole, which is just green beans and cream of tomato soup, and mac and cheese and corn and stuffing. I'm putting all that shit on one spoon and eating it. And like, that is the bite that I like to have. And I agree with you that casserole gets a bad rap, because if you're like, here's Thanksgiving casserole, it is every spoonful that you take of Thanksgiving dinner, now you're going to do that. It's just in this dish, and it looks like something that like we feed to Oliver, you know, like that we slap on his plate. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I don't know if this helps or hurts it, but maybe if casserole was known as like, hey, it's just the chef mama birding this bite together for you.
That's it. It's bites at scale. It is bites at scale. That's because then what do we do? So just because it's like maybe a little cleaner, the Italians get to call it lasagna. That shit's a casserole. That's a casserole.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of insulted Italians right now, but they're just going to have to
then-
deal with the truth. The truth sets you free. This is finally they're hearing, getting an honest answer to their lasagnas. You're just having a tomato casserole.
Right. Also, like, don't come for me, but then what do we do about Kugel? You know?
You're right. No, listen, if I'm going to be, if I got to listen, when the finger points 3-point back at you, the Kugel wow. Mind blown here on the JTrain Podcast. Everyone go follow Taylor at Taylor Kay Phillips. The book is called A Guide to Midwestern Conversation. So good to have you. And listen, we're going to go do 2 shows tonight, but I'm so pumped that you came on the podcast. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'll see you tonight.
Of course. Back next week. Boom.